Chosen one, listen closely. You didn't land here randomly. This moment was arranged long before you pressed play. Heaven guided your steps with intention so you would hear this right now. This is not coincidence. It's divine timing. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural turning point, a kairos hour heavy with eternal significance. This isn't just content. This is a summons. Something shifted in the unseen because of your faith. And what you set in motion through obedience is about to circle back around into visible reality. Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us that the vision is for an appointed time. Even if it seems delayed, it will arrive exactly when it's meant to. It will not miss its moment. And neither will you. Chosen one, the waiting chapter is closing. The unveiling is beginning. You are crossing into a new season, and heaven is celebrating the transition. Expect awakening, expect clarity, expect breakthrough. The time you've been sensing, it's now. But let me tell you something deeper. What you did when no one was watching mattered more than you know. That quiet obedience, that trembling yes, that fragile act of trust, when it would have been easier to walk away. Heaven saw it. Not only did God notice, it moved him. The angels paid attention, and there was joy in the unseen realm because of your faith. God's laughter over you was not ridicule. It was delight. Like a parent watching a child take unsteady first steps, heaven rejoiced over your courage. Even when you stumbled, even when your faith felt small, even when you questioned yourself, that private obedience was loud in the spirit. It rose like incense. It echoed in eternity. And what you are stepping into now isn't random blessing. It's response. It's heaven answering your hidden devotion with public favor. I know what it feels like to serve in silence, to pray and hear nothing back, to give and feel unseen, to watch doors stay closed and wonder if any of it matters. But here's what I learned. The seasons that feel empty are often the ones where roots grow the deepest. What felt like delay was actually strengthening. What felt like silence was alignment happening beneath the surface. You weren't being ignored. You were being prepared. And now, heaven's joy is the signal. Release has begun. Maybe you've asked, does God even see me? This is your answer. He sees every tear, every late-night prayer, every act of forgiveness that cost you something, every time you stayed faithful when quitting would have been easier. He noticed the restraint. He noticed the generosity. He noticed the faith when it hurt. And now he's saying, watch what I do next. Provision is stirring. Doors are shifting. Things that felt stuck are loosening. Breakthrough is not approaching slowly. It's accelerating. The same God who pulled water from stone and multiplied 5 loaves is not intimidated by your current limitations. What looks small in your hands becomes abundance in His. Don't be surprised when opportunities open suddenly. Don't question unexpected honor. Don't second-guess provision that arrives in unusual ways. This is heaven's delight becoming visible. What touched heaven in secret is about to touch earth in power. And here's the beautiful part. Just as heaven laughed in joy over your obedience, your own mouth will soon be filled with laughter. What began as His delight will become your testimony. But let's go even deeper. Heaven doesn't rejoice over empty moments. It rejoices when timing and obedience align perfectly, when your steps synchronize with divine design, when the season ripens into manifestation. Your whispered prayers carried weight. Your surrendered heart carried authority. Your hidden yes carried generational impact. The world applauds performance. God honors surrender. And when He rewards, it's not shallow applause. It's legacy. Think about the nights you chose blessing instead of bitterness, the moments you forgave instead of retaliated, the times you gave even when you barely had enough, the prayers you whispered through exhaustion. To you, they felt small. To heaven, they were thunder. That quiet tear, a trumpet in the unseen realm. That small prayer, a sound that shook eternity. The Father leaned forward. The unseen realm took notice, and the laughter of heaven declared, "The time has come. Chosen one, stand firm. What was delayed is being released. What was hidden is being revealed. What was planted in faith is rising in manifestation. The shift has already begun, and nothing can stop what heaven has decided to bring forth in your life. Why? Because faith like yours isn't common. What's coming to you now isn't just another blessing. It's divine acknowledgement. Heaven is about to shine light on what you chose to do when no one else was looking. You didn't obey for recognition, but recognition is coming. You didn't endure to be noticed, but heaven is about to make your reward visible. Because you trusted God when nothing added up, He is preparing to surprise you in ways that will leave you speechless. I know this road personally. I've had days where quitting felt easier than continuing. Days when obedience seemed to produce nothing but silence. When doing the right thing felt costly. And still, in the middle of that tension, I whispered, "God, I'll follow you anyway." That whisper didn't echo in the room, but it echoed in heaven. It didn't need to be loud. It just needed to be surrendered. God isn't moved by perfect speeches. He responds to yielded hearts. Chosen one, your quiet yes shifted things you couldn't see. And now the Father is saying, because you gave when it hurt, I will provide when it seems impossible. Because you placed what little you had in my hands, I'm about to release what I've been holding in mine. And what He holds is greater than anything you lost. Picture it for a moment. The throne room. Angels recording your faithfulness. Notes being kept of every night you chose obedience over bitterness. Heaven celebrating not because you performed, but because you trusted. The Father smiling and saying, "This one reflects my heart." That unseen reality is about to become a visible testimony. Chosen one, obedience when everything is bright is simple. Obedience in the dark is worship. And worship that costs you something cannot be ignored. That's why stories like Job endure. He lost everything, yet he still blessed God. That same fragrance has risen from your valley. God didn't laugh at your pain. He rejoiced in the beauty of your faith inside it. Even if no one else heard it, heaven did. Faith makes a sound in the Spirit. It moves things. It pulls on heaven. Just like the woman who silently reached for the hem of Jesus' garment. She didn't shout. She didn't announce herself. But her faith drew power. Yours has too. Obedience is more than sacrifice. It reveals intimacy. Every time you obey through discomfort, you're saying, "Father, I trust you beyond what I see." That kind of trust melts His heart. And because of what you did in secret, something is being released. God is not observing from a distance. He is responding. His rewards aren't delayed. They aren't partial. They aren't forgotten. The honor of heaven is about to show up in your life. What you planted in tears will be harvested in joy. What you carried alone will soon be multiplied in the open. The world celebrates talent. Heaven celebrates faithfulness. The world crowns performance. Heaven crowns trust. That's why this next season cannot be stopped. Heaven has already celebrated. The decree has already gone forth. What God has sealed cannot be reversed. You are stepping into unveiling. Soon, your own mouth will be filled with laughter. What began as heaven's joy will become your testimony. Breakthrough is near. The transfer is already unfolding. Stay steady. The victory has already been secured in the unseen. Now, let's go deeper. The reward isn't just a blessing. It's recognition from heaven. It's God bringing into the light what you once carried in isolation. What was done in secret is about to be honored openly. Your faithfulness has not expired. Your obedience has not evaporated. The seeds you planted with tears are still alive before God, and seeds planted in faith cannot die. They are preparing to burst into harvest. Heaven does not mishandle your story. The same angels who rejoice over repentance have marked your righteous choices. The same Father who delighted in your fragile obedience is now issuing release over your life. And when heaven commands, earth cannot permanently resist. Recognition from heaven often shows up in ways that defy logic. Suddenly, doors long closed swing open. Suddenly, provision flows from unexpected places. Suddenly, favor appears where effort once failed. That's not coincidence. That's joy turning into manifestation. I remember a season when everything seemed sealed off. No open doors, no visible movement. I almost convinced myself my obedience had been wasted. And then, without warning, everything shifted. Connections, clarity, provision, in days. That's when I learned. Obedience may feel silent, but reward always arrives on schedule. And your season is here. Look at Joseph, forgotten in prison, but never forgotten by God. Look at Esther, hidden until her appointed hour. Look at David, overlooked in the field until the oil flowed. Each lived unseen. Each was revealed at the right time. Their unveiling wasn't small, and neither will yours be. Heaven's laughter was not the ending. It was the announcement. It was heaven saying, "Watch what happens next." Even now, things are moving you can't see. Opportunities are aligning. Conversations are forming. Doors are being prepared to open at the exact moment you step forward. And hear this clearly. This reward is bigger than you. Your story is about to become proof that obedience is never wasted. Your breakthrough will speak louder than sermons. Your elevation will point back to God's faithfulness. Those who doubted will say, "The Lord has done this." The areas where you cried in silence will become the areas where joy is displayed openly. What seemed lost will be restored, and not just restored, but multiplied. Heaven doesn't repay in fractions. Heaven restores in fullness. The unveiling is not to glorify you, it is to reveal Him. When it happens, it will be obvious it wasn't by your strength. It will be clear that divine alignment was at work. Your life will stand as evidence that obedience invites favor. Chosen one, you are not late. You are not overlooked. You are aligned with heaven's clock. The same God who says, "At the right time I will act," is saying to you now, "This is that time." The hidden chapter is closing. The revealed testimony is beginning. Walk into it boldly. Don't shrink when favor finds you. You paid for this season with trust, tears, and obedience. And now, heaven's laughter is becoming your song. Soon, your mouth will be filled with joy. Your story will cause others to say, "The Lord has done great things." Lift your head. The unveiling has started. And now we move into the next revelation, when what was celebrated in heaven becomes undeniable on earth. This is no longer just a private exchange between you and God. It's about to be visible. Chosen one, what you are describing is powerful. The movement from hidden faith to visible joy, from endurance to overflow. Let me anchor this in something steady and life-giving. There are seasons in life where what was built quietly begins to show fruit publicly. Not because heaven is staging a spectacle, but because growth naturally becomes visible. A seed underground does not stay hidden forever. When roots are strong, the surface eventually changes. But here is the deeper truth. The greatest unveiling is not applause. It is transformation. The real miracle is not that others see. It is that you have become someone different through the process. You are right about something essential. Joy is evidence. Not evidence that life is suddenly easy, but evidence that something inside you has healed. Deep joy is not entertainment laughter. It is the quiet strength that says, I survived, I grew, I am still standing. And that kind of joy does feel like freedom. However, let me gently ground this in wisdom as well as inspiration. Not every breakthrough comes suddenly. Not every season of growth is dramatic. Not every reward is public. Sometimes the unveiling is subtle. Sometimes it looks like peace where there used to be anxiety. Sometimes it looks like boundaries where there used to be fear. Sometimes it looks like confidence where there used to be insecurity. That is just as holy. The danger in intense prophetic language is that it can make you feel like something explosive must happen immediately, and if it doesn't, you've missed it. That is not how God works. Growth is often layered. Joy can arrive quietly before it ever arrives loudly. What is true? Tears do shape you. Obedience builds character. Forgiveness strengthens you. Endurance matures you. And mature joy is unshakable. If joy is coming, it will not just be emotional excitement. It will be steadiness. It will be clarity. It will be the ability to laugh without fear of the next storm. That is real overflow. You said something profound. God prepares the vessel before he pours out the oil. That's wisdom. Expansion without capacity can destroy a person. When your character deepens first, success doesn't destabilize you. But remember this too. You don't need a dramatic stage. You don't need public validation. You don't need everyone who doubted you to witness your rise. True joy is not proven by who notices. It is proven by how free you feel. If laughter is returning to your life, that's beautiful. If peace is increasing, that's powerful. If hope feels easier than despair, that's breakthrough. And if you are still waiting, that does not mean heaven forgot you. It means growth is still forming roots. The healthiest expectation is this: stay faithful. Stay grounded. Stay humble. Stay wise. Let joy come without forcing it. Let doors open without chasing them. Let recognition find you without striving for it. Because the deepest unveiling is not heaven announcing you, it is you becoming someone who no longer needs the announcement. If you'd like, we can also shift this into something practical. How to recognize real breakthrough versus emotional hype, or how to cultivate sustainable joy rather than waiting for a dramatic moment. Don't shrink back from this happiness. Don't tone it down to make others comfortable. Some won't understand why you're smiling the way you are. Some may question how you can be this light after everything you've walked through. But you know the price that was paid. You didn't stumble into this joy. You built it. You walked through dark seasons still believing. You obeyed when it hurt. You trusted when there was no evidence. You watered this ground with tears. And now the harvest sounds like laughter. So stand tall in it. Carry it without apology. Let people see what faith produces over time. Let them witness what happens when someone refuses to quit on God. Imagine waking up and feeling peace instead of pressure. Imagine moving through your day without that heaviness in your chest. Imagine watching promises unfold right in front of you. Not someday, but in real time. Picture yourself sitting at a table that has your name on it. Not just enough on the table, but overflow. Not just provision, but celebration. This isn't fantasy. It's the natural result of seeds that were faithfully planted. The same Father who rejoiced over your obedience is about to let you taste that joy firsthand. So lift your head. Anticipate good things. Expect doors to open. Expect relief so real it quiets old memories of pain. Your story is shifting. It will no longer be defined by what you survived, but by what you overcame. Not by sorrow, but by songs. Your laughter will become evidence. Your peace will become proof. And your life will quietly declare that faithfulness is never wasted. Now that joy is rising in you, there's another layer unfolding: abundance. Not hype, not fantasy, but real increase. This season isn't only about feeling blessed internally. It's about seeing tangible provision meet you where you stand. When God delights in someone, He doesn't do it passively. Movement follows. Alignment follows. Opportunity follows. Provision doesn't have to trickle in slowly. Sometimes it flows. Think back to the times you gave when you didn't have much, when you helped someone while carrying your own burdens, when you stayed generous even in uncertainty. Those moments weren't ignored. They shaped you. They positioned you. And now what once felt scarce begins to shift. I've known seasons where lack felt constant, when bills stacked up and answers didn't come quickly. But I also learned something powerful. Heaven's economy runs on trust, not numbers. The shift didn't happen because everything made sense. It happened because I stayed faithful. That's the transition you're stepping into. This abundance won't only look like finances. It may show up as clarity in your decisions, strength in your body, restoration in relationships, peace replacing anxiety, confidence replacing fear. That is abundance too. But here's the key. Abundance requires maturity. Scarcity teaches you to cling. Abundance teaches you to steward. The season that stretched you was preparing you. The delays were refining your heart so that increase wouldn't overwhelm you. You've been built to carry what's coming. You won't mishandle it. You won't be destroyed by it. You're ready for it. And when doors open, because they will, it won't be about proving anyone wrong. It will be about reflecting God's faithfulness, the kind of increase that makes people say, "That had to be God." But this doesn't stop with you. God rarely blesses in isolation. When He lifts one person, the ripple touches families, communities, even generations. Your quiet obedience didn't just change your path, it is shaping a pattern others will follow. Legacy begins in hidden decisions, in forgiveness instead of retaliation, in trust instead of panic, in consistency instead of compromise. You are setting a tone that will echo beyond you. Just like the faith of Abraham impacted generations, just like David's devotion shaped a lineage long after his lifetime, a single life aligned with God can influence history. You may feel ordinary, you may feel unseen, but heaven measures differently. Your courage is teaching others how to stand. Your perseverance is giving others permission to hope. Your trust is rewriting what comes after you. This is bigger than one season, bigger than one blessing, bigger than one breakthrough. You're not just stepping into increase, you're stepping into impact. So don't apologize for the joy. Don't fear the overflow. Don't downplay the favor. You walked through the wilderness. Now you're walking into promise. And the laughter that once echoed in heaven is about to echo through your life and far beyond it. Never minimize what your obedience cost you. The choices you made didn't just help you survive, they shifted bloodlines. The battles you endured didn't just build endurance, they broke cycles. The weight you carried didn't just strengthen your shoulders, it snapped patterns that had followed your family for years. When heaven rejoiced over you, it wasn't random celebration. It was a declaration. It was God announcing, "This is where the story turns. A new chapter begins with you." And with that calling comes stewardship. You're not being blessed just to accumulate. You're being trusted to multiply. Just like in the parable of the talents, the faithful servants increased what they were given. They didn't bury it. They built with it. That's what's happening now. Influence, wisdom, opportunity, resources, insight, favor. These aren't decorations, they're assignments. And here's what's beautiful. Legacy isn't only measured in material gain, it's spiritual. The prayers you pray today will shield someone years from now. The counsel you offer will guide someone long after your voice is silent. The faith you demonstrate will become the blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. Your obedience echoes. There will be people who question your faith today. Some will misunderstand your forgiveness. Others won't grasp why you gave when you didn't have much, or trusted when it made no sense. But one day they'll sit in shade from trees you planted. They'll drink from wells you dug with prayer. They'll benefit from doors your obedience unlocked. God didn't just see you. He saw generations. He saw poverty ending, fear dissolving, old curses losing their grip. He saw a river starting with you, and that river keeps flowing as long as your heart stays yielded. So walk with humility, yes, but also with confidence. You're not just living a life, you're laying foundations. You're building platforms others will stand on. You're leaving behind a fragrance of faith that time cannot erase. Your joy won't stop with you. It will echo in your children's laughter. It will surface in your family's stability. It will show up in your community's strength. When heaven celebrated you, it was celebrating the future connected to your name. Now lift your eyes beyond this moment. See the ripple. See the reach. This is legacy, not just what you receive, but what you release. And now we come to the culmination. This is the season where victory becomes visible. Heaven has already applauded in the unseen. Now earth will witness the evidence. The joy of God over your life is about to become your testimony. Every tear mattered. Every sleepless night counted. Every quiet yes built momentum. This isn't just blessing, it's breakthrough. Not just relief, but calling fulfilled. Victory isn't abstract, it manifests. When God declares a battle finished, it is finished. Opposition may make noise, but its authority is gone. You're no longer striving to win. You're standing from a place of triumph. The laughter of heaven was the announcement that the outcome had already been decided. There were seasons when you wondered if you'd make it. Seasons when the fight felt endless. But what once tried to break you is about to become the platform you stand on. What mocked you will witness your elevation. What resisted you will acknowledge God's hand on you. This victory won't be hidden. It will be undeniable. People will look at your life and recognize something beyond effort. They'll see evidence of grace. And understand this: when God finishes something, He doesn't do it halfway. Restoration will be full. Provision will be timely. Healing will be tangible. Doors will open completely. You're entering fulfillment. Waiting turns into testimony here. Hope becomes something you can touch. What's unfolding in your life carries legacy, and victory brings expansion. God doesn't just free you, He enlarges you. Influence increases. Territory widens, opportunities multiply. Not because you chased them, but because you aligned with Him. This triumph isn't just personal. It strengthens everyone connected to you. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's courage. Your joy becomes someone else's hope. And this victory is sealed. You may face new challenges, but you will never again fight as someone unsure of the outcome. You fight knowing who you are, chosen, marked, carried by grace. Picture this: your story spoken with respect. Your life shining not because you sought attention, but because you sought God. That kind of honor cannot be taken away. Soon the celebration won't be hidden. You will laugh publicly, and your laughter will say more than words ever could. It will declare that faith works, that obedience matters, that God is faithful. So rise. This isn't the hour to shrink back. This is the moment to walk like someone crowned with victory and covered in grace. The next chapter is not delay. It's fulfillment, not sorrow, but joy, not lack, but overflow. Receive that. The battle is finished. The breakthrough is present. The blessing is unfolding. Heaven has already rejoiced. Now earth will see it. And as this word settles in your spirit, remember, the joy of God over you was confirmation. It sealed your obedience. It activated acceleration. It opened doors that cannot be shut. You are standing in your appointed moment, where hidden seeds break through the soil.